Hello everyone, welcome back again. So I was watching Nick the gardener this morning and he's taken 30 cuttings off his single seed potato plants, and Robert is reluctant to tell me how many he's taken, but he was on 28 and I do think he's doubled down since then, so we're going to have to do something drastic just to stay in this game, I think. I have already planted the 4 main plants into this 500 litre, it's a disposal bag for garden waste. It's 500 litres, it's about half full. We've put some chicken manure, fresh chicken manure right in the bottom, and then we've added some of our own homemade compost, a little bit of clover compost and some garden peat. It's only about halfway full, and when I planted them, before I planted them in here, I did take another round of cuttings, but after watching Nick this morning, I'm going to take a few more. These have shot up a bit since taking the last lot, so we're going to go and get as many as we can out of these now. As you can see, I have also added a cage round, and as what I'll be doing is filling this up as the plants grow, if they get a chance to, unless I keep taking cuttings. But I'll be filling this up until it's all the way up to the top, like this one next to it. These are Picasso, and these are almost at the top of this cage now. This cage just helps support foliage, and as what I've been doing is just putting a few handfuls of compost in every now and then, and I'm going to be getting a couple of bales of straw, which I'm going to fill this with straw just to help support the foliage, keep the moisture in, and hopefully get a few more tubers out of it. And I will be doing something very similar, if not exactly the same, with these. So we're not going to do all this outside today. I'm going to get these cut, put in a jar of water, and we'll head on to the other polytunnel. We'll have a look at what we've already done, and get these potted on. So I have already done a detailed video on doing this before. It's about 2 weeks ago, and I have done a couple of videos last year on it as well. So if you want to see exactly how it's done, I'd go and check those videos out, because it's a bit awkward getting in here as it is. So there's no way I'm going to be able to get in here with the camera as well. But all I'm doing is cutting below a leaf node, removing those 2 lower leaves, and popping it in a jar of water. I am making sure that I'm leaving a bit of growth behind, or where there is a side shoot coming out, there is still one of those on the stem that I'm cutting. So making sure that we're leaving at least one of those behind so the plant can regrow and hopefully give us some more shoots. But by doing this, just encouraging those lower branches to become the main shoot of the plant. So it's just going to be a more bushier plant. Might take a little longer to grow. Will slow the growth down a bit, but from what I've done in the past, it doesn't hinder the yield. If anything, it improves it. So I'm going to leave them now. There's a good few side shoots that are now going to be the main shoots. There's plenty of foliage left over, and I'll leave them for probably another week, and then I'll top this pot up to the top of the plants. That gives enough time for the cuts that I've just made to heal over, and they shouldn't cause any disease. I've cut them on a 45-degree angle, so any of this wet stuff falling from the sky that we've had non-stop for a few days now, that should just roll straight off it and not sit on it and cause any rot or any issues like that. So we'll take these now into the polytunnel and get these potted on. Well, I think we can blame Terry King for this. Seen him doing his rain dance the other day and I thought, don't need to be doing that anymore, mate. It's pissing it down here. So, we have got the 4 planted out in the 500 litre tubs. And then we had the other 4 chits that were just starting to grow. And that is these 4. These 2, I've already snipped the tops off and taken 2 of the cuttings off those 2. And these 2 are just getting to a decent size now. I'm going to do the same with them. They need potting on, but as of right now I don't have the compost to be potting them all on, so I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow. The 4 cuttings that we took originally, so these are 2 weeks old, and 2 of them we've got roots on 2 of them so far. See, we've got nice roots starting on that, so they're ready to be potted on. So that takes us up to 10, and then the other 2, I've left them without the covers on for a good few days now, and they've not completely wilted over. That's what I will do, is just remove this leaf from there, and that should help that along the way. But we'll pop it out and have a look just in case. You can see there's signs of growth underneath, but no signs of any root just yet. But I'm pretty sure, because they've stayed alive, not completely wilted over, I'm pretty sure that these are rooting. And are going to root. I'm sure I can see a little bit of a root in the middle there. So they should root within the next day or 2. But these 2 have started growing quite a bit since I've seen the roots on them. So that takes us up to 10, 11, 12 with those 2. And then we've got a few more here ready to go. I'm going to do them now. Just move these out of the way. So that's 12 there, and the other day whilst I was potting on, I did take a couple more. So we've got another 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 here. So that should take us up to 12, and 16 is, hello Crystal, 28. And then these should just put us up to 30, and then we should be able to get another 2 out of those. But these were taken 2-3 days ago, and I've just been keeping these humidity domes on top of them, and they seem to be doing okay. Obviously there's no signs of any roots as of yet. I do not keep these in the polytunnel. It's, even though it's raining, it's still in the sunlight, it's far too hot, too intense for them in here. So I've been keeping them in the shed. I've got the T5 LED grow light on. I haven't got the heat mats on or anything like that, so they're just sat in there. And after about a week and a half to 2 weeks is what about a week and a half is what I did with these, is I popped them in the grow tent and removed all the lids. Just popped them in the grow tent for a couple of days, and as soon as I seen signs of the roots, I brought them out. And I've also brought these 2 out yesterday, just to see how they'd react to being out in here, and they seem to be doing just fine. These have been in the polytunnel and will be until they're getting planted out. So move these back out the way for now. Get rid of those two. Get rid of these four. We will snip some cuts off these two and get these potted on. Do have some natural rooting powder. And I'm going to be using the compost. There was one pot of the carrots and they all seemed to bolt, so I just pulled everything out and I'm going to reuse this compost. It's nice, finely sieved, so shouldn't be any problems with that. It's a bit dry, but I'll give it a good watering. And if you haven't already, guys, please do consider subscribing. It costs absolutely nothing. Exactly 50% of my viewers are not subscribed, but exactly 50% of you watch on the TV. So if you could, just whip your phone out quickly and subscribe, that'd be absolutely amazing. Really appreciate it. We're getting really close to the 1007 mark now. We've absolutely smashed it with the watch time, and I have been able to monetize the channel, so I'd just like to say a massive thank you to everyone for that. Really appreciate all the help and support that I've been getting, and really appreciate everyone watching my videos start to finish, liking them, commenting and interacting with some of the other comments. It really helps out the algorithm of the channel, and really appreciate it. So all I'm going to do with these, I've already cut them on a 45-degree angle. They've been sat in this water for a bit, and you can see we've got two nodes where there's going to be growth coming. That is where the main chances of roots are going to be forming. So I'm just going to dip this in the powder and push that down the edge of the pot, firm it in. Now, I did notice Nick was using a rooting gel, and when he opened the pot he noticed it had all gone all bad and horrible inside. That is one of the reasons why I prefer using the powders, because by dipping the plants in like this, you're not leaving anything behind. What got dipped in there is coated in the powder. There's no residue left in there or anything like that, and if it does get a bit wet, it just goes lumpy. It does say to empty some out into a separate pot, but I never do that, and I don't think I ever have. Maybe the first time I tried it, and then just realised there was no need. And I do find the cheaper brand rooting powders, they tend to work better for me. Might not be the case for everyone out there, but I find that the cheaper ones work better for me. I've been and bought Clonex, been and bought a few other ones, a few well-known brand ones, and there's either been no difference or the results of this stuff is better. One pot short, typical. Well, all I can say is I bloody hope this works. And Rob, stop taking cuttings, please, because I don't know where I'm going to put all these as it is. Right, so that is them done. Just go and get the sprayer. So I'll just give them a misting. Give those leaves a good soak, because we've cut off their water supply by cutting the plant, and the only way that they're going to uptake water now is through the leaves. So we'll keep on top of spraying them daily, and I tend to keep these humidity domes on top. That really helps with having to spray them quite as much. I find if I leave these on, I can get away with spraying every other day sometimes. I could put the heat mat on and probably speed up the rooting process a little bit, but it's warm enough in the garage, so they should be okay. I mean, the others seem to be doing alright, so I don't see why these should be any different. Right, well, that is them done. That is another 2, 4, 6, 7 cuttings. 2 very sorry for themselves looking plants there. As you can see, there's not much left of them at all, but they will be okay. They will continue to grow, and they should bush out, giving us multiple main stems, and once they're in their main homes, they'll be absolutely fine. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, plus 4, 35. So that gives us a total of 35 plants for the single seed potato challenge. 25. I don't know if I will take any more cuttings, because like I said, I don't even know where these are going to go. We'll see how we get on with these and how we get on with planting everything as to whether or not we're going to take any more. But for now, guys, just like to say a massive thank you to everyone for watching, and if you're not following along everyone else on this single seed potato challenge, I really recommend giving a few other channels a watch and maybe watch the results of last year's videos. Might surprise you how much of a yield we are getting from a single potato, because you've got to remember all this is coming from one single potato. So for now, massive thank you to everyone for watching. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and drop me a comment below. Bye for now.